one point in life, one must learn to walk alone. One must learn to live alone, and one must learn to separate himself from the crowd. That doesn't help him grow mentally and physically. One must learn to lead himself, and one must learn to isolate himself so that he can find his true power and strength. And that's the art of building himself in silence. We are so obsessed in living that life in rush, from this to that. We are so obsessed living a life, not by ourselves but with others, and that we forget to give time to ourselves, that we forget to build ourselves. We are so obsessed to tell our plans so excitingly to others, before we take an action to that. But at one point, we must learn to stop that. At one point, we must learn to take action more than to talk. And I'm not saying that we should eliminate every friends and family from our life, and we should just live in isolation and have no social gatherings or whatever you can understand. But what I'm trying to say is to prioritize yourself more, to prioritize your work more, to give yourself time more. And what kind of a man is he if he can't stay with himself, if he can't stay still with his thoughts, if he can't, and the only way that you can build yourself is when you are in a complete state of isolation. And this fact could be hard to understand, but this is the right way, and I can say that because I have experienced it. And isolation and being in solitude is often recognized as loneliness, and many fears to be in isolation, as they think it's something wrong that they shouldn't be doing. But I often see when a person is in isolation is as an opportunity to restructure himself, to find his weaknesses more than his strength, and to be more conscious, to have more conscious mind. It's only when a person can be strong when he has learned himself, when he has mastered the art to move in silence, when he has mastered his mind. And this could be agreed by many warriors and many sports person or this and that. Learn to work in silence and not to share more than what you should, and learn to keep things for yourself. And whatever you're doing, whatever goals, not every goal should be heard, not every idea should be told. Sometimes it's better to keep it within yourself, and not everyone should know what you're up to. And like I said, maybe I'm vlogging, and maybe people that knows me know what I'm up to, but not everything, right? So not everything must be told to everyone. Some things are best to kept within yourself, and just work in silence, and that's it. That's how it should be. Not every man should have lots of friends. Not every man should share his dreams and his goals to everyone. I think action should be more than talking, right? Not every man should always rely on others. We must come out from that shell. And it took me years to understand this, and it's not easy, it's not easy to live in isolation. It's not easy. So it's tough, and I'm still learning. And that's the art, that's the art of growing. That's the art of building in silence. Build yourself in silence, and that's how it should be.